Okay? You see, this is one thing everybody takes for granted. How do you know you exist? How do you know you're there? I just know. But what is it that knows that? It's not a thought, it's not a memory. I have to feel it, okay? Because we're going with words. It loses its potency. We have to feel it. So, and I say to Jim, you know, he says, me, and how do you know you're there? And of course, everybody would probably say something like, you see, awareness is the key, of course, but I would say, because I know, I'm here, I know I'm here. But who is it that knows? Okay? That is called the felt sense of I. And you understand that? Now, this felt sense of I am, we think of it as being this small little encasement. You see? We do not realize that this I, this primordial I, which has no beginning or end, is awareness itself. It recognizes itself. It does everything. Now, when people are told you're not a doer, you don't do anything. You don't keep your heart beating. You don't keep your cells changing. You don't say, and emotions. You don't say, well, I think I'm going to get depressed now. You know, things happen to you. Everything is happening from consciousness. You see. So the point is that it is this I that's doing everything. But let's understand this I. There's another term I'd like to use here, okay? In this space, in this I, this pure consciousness, that which is, which cannot be defined, which you cannot see, you cannot taste, you cannot smell, but just is, which appears as you being aware. Okay, that in itself creates, let's call it a cosmic soup, okay? From it comes a soup of a disturbance of vibration. You know, when you have a quiet lake, and the lake, the water is very clear, and then you throw a pebble, and you disturb the surface, and you create ripples, and those ripples become wider and wider and wider. All right? Now, in the same way that in this cosmic self, in this I, that is I, okay, a disturbance is created, which is called thought. In scientific terms, we call it a wave. Now, everything happens through waves. Picture a radio, a very sensitive radio, and you put it in, you know, you turn it on, and you listen. And you could be listening to what is happening in the States, even in Germany, if it's a very good, sophisticated radio. It has a good receiver. So what happens that you're receiving it? Okay, immediately the mind says, oh, the sound is coming from the radio. It's inside the radio. It's as if somebody's speaking, you open the radio apart and there's a person there. Okay, and that's what seems when we watch television. But the truth is that the radio is just a receiver from the cosmic soup. Now I call it soup because it's made up of millions and trillions of waves of energy. You see, radio waves, cosmic waves, video waves, you know, all these are all waves. That's what produces our senses to see, to hear, to experience. You see, our sensual input, output is all made up of this cosmic soup. This disturbance in space of I. So when I experiences these different things, it thinks I am experiencing, and then we give it thought. You see, I'm experiencing this, and this is bad based on my past, or this is good based on my past. Do you see? So we make judgments upon it, and we develop our personality, our character, our whole viewpoint of life based on what we think from what we are aware of. Are you with me? There's a vast difference between awareness and thought. But what makes the whole suffering is not knowing the difference between the two. So So we were talking about one radio, right? And it's receiving. And what it's receiving is not inside the radio. It's receiving it from waves. Radio waves. Now what if we had 100 radios? Would they all, if they're tuned into the same station, you all hear the same thing? Right. We'll all hear the same station. Why? Because it is the same station. And then if you turn it to another station, you get different waves and you hear different sounds. So you tune in. So how many sounds are there in the ether? You see, in this vast space, it's innumerable. It's too extensive. So we are like a radio. We tune in to this I. But the difference between the radio and us is this, that you in your natural state is this I. Got it? You are this I when you tune in, because you're tuning in to the very cosmic that has created this incredible soup, this conglomeration of waves and patterns and particles and matter that came from it. Another one is, for example, the cellular phone. Okay, we take it for granted. Now when you talk on the cell phone, you have a signal. What is the signal? Okay, 1, 2, 3, the numbers, right? So now the numbers that you dial are a particular and very specific trigger, a signal that only that person who has that number will receive it. But when you dial the number, what is happening? It's a signal, right? And that signal is a wave that reaches that phone and makes it ring. The person that you're calling. You see how beautiful that is? But all that is happening in this cosmic soup. It's all happening there. And it's all coming from this energy of I. Everything is happening within it. But what happens, what we call the cosmic soup, it's all thought. Because it's a movement that's coming from awareness. Awareness just is. Okay? It's eternal, it's beginningless, endless. And from it comes this movement and this action. Now, whenever you say I, the first thing you feel and think is me, right? Okay, that's called suffering. That's called pain. That's called unawareness. But when you begin to realize that I is the cosmic that is creating all this, imagine how grand you are. This is fact. I'm not creating a fantasy. Most of you who are aware here know this, of course. But the point is to feel it and to be able to live from it. This I that you are is the very miracle. Now, when Jesus walked the earth, what happened? He realized that he is this I. So he said, I am the truth, the way, and the life. And of course, Christians misinterpreted that because they thought, oh, he's the only one. You see what I mean? Buddha said the same, Krishna said the same. You see? So in truth, you are the way, the truth, and the life, because you are that very I am. The totality of all that is. You see? And everything that appears is coming from that. But what makes you unique, what makes you called a soul, is that you have thoughts, a unique expression of that I am. And so whatever and how you interpret that I am is what makes you a unique expression, but never a separate individual. That is the difference. So you are a unique expression of the totality of that I am, but never separate, any more than the radios are separate when they tune into the same station, you see?